Hello, and thanks for joining me. It's Catherine Maley, author of Your Aesthetic Practice, and I'll be presenting the title called, Are You Chasing the Wrong Patients? So which cosmetic patient do you prefer? A patient who gives you $5,000 or someone who gives you $119,000? Well, the answer is obvious. So why did I open with this, and what do I mean? Well, if we're talking about you wanting more, for example, breast dog surgeries, for example, there's definitely a market for the younger patient who just wants a breast dog, but there are three problems with this patient demographic. First, it's super competitive. Since 300,000 breast dogs are performed each year, that seems like a good patient to chase. However, the challenge becomes getting their attention since everyone and their brother is also chasing this patient. And since this younger patient is online, you've got to understand social media and or spend several thousands of dollars per month to play the PPC AdWords game so these patients can actually find you in your website. By the way, here are the results of a case study I did for a surgeon in Colorado who spends $8,000 a month on Google AdWords. Now in 3 months, he got 680 internet leads. And that sounds fantastic, right? But look at this. The staff was emailing and calling the prospective patients at least 2 times, and they had a 26% no-show rate until I urged them to start charging for the consults. And then out of the 680, they got 74 consultations, and of that, 8 scheduled surgery. So that was only a 10% closing rate. And quite frankly, that's a lot of calls, emails, and staff time following up for only 8 surgeries. Don't you agree? Now, number 2, it is a tough demographic. This younger patient is super tech savvy, so they're very distracted. That means they're multitasking like never before, and they're jumping from website to website and clicking on these links that go around and lead you to nowhere. So it's tough to get their attention long enough for them to stop, listen, and react to your message. And of course, they don't have a lot of disposable income. Therefore, the 20-something breast dog patient is typically only looking for a great deal. They price shop and they prefer Groupons and deals more than anything else. Now, that makes it tough for you to compete on your years of skill and expertise when your competitor down the street is slashing his prices. The younger breast dog patient can also be the most difficult to work with. They have a tendency to not respect time and authority. So they don't show up for appointments or show up late, and that wreaks havoc on your schedule. They don't respect skill and expertise. They can be quick to complain, and they don't follow instructions very well. And I'll just tell you a quick story. A plastic surgeon in Florida told me he did breast dogs because they were quick and easy. However, he noticed since the recession, he was working a lot harder to close the breast dog consultations because it had gotten so competitive. Now, he noticed his younger patients didn't seem to care about his credentials half as much as they did about his prices. And the final kicker was when he got a call late at night from a post-op breast dog patient who had his cell phone number because he always gave it out after surgery. Well, she was tipsy and it was noisy, and she was complaining about her breast hurting. And it turns out she's at a club dancing 2 days after surgery. That's when he said he's had enough of this demographic. He decided right then and there to focus on his more mature patients who wanted face and body rejuvenation, and it changed his practice. He now sees less patients, has more time to spend with those patients he does see. He converts more because of it, and he makes more money now with less hassle, so he's thrilled. It's just something to consider. Now, here's the third reason that you may not want to chase this patient. It's because the breast dog patient can be a one-hit wonder. The business model is the breast dog patient who comes in once, but then disappears for a couple decades because they don't need anything else. Except maybe they might want Botox or laser hair removal. And guess where they go for that? The next Groupon. So you can't build a sustainable practice this way, since you have to give away your profits to attract them to you in the first place, and then you have to give away your profits again to even think about hanging on to them. And unless they're hanging around with strippers or many other flat-chested girls, there's a good chance they're not referring you to their friends. So that means you need to keep spending that $8,000 per month every month to stay busy. And you may have noticed they're the first ones to dish you online using the online review sites to complain to their internet fake friends if they aren't thrilled with their result. By the way, while you may dislike Yelp immensely because this industry and Yelp do not get along very well, your younger patients love it. So you have to deal with that reality as well. Now, on the other hand, the more mature cosmetic patient is a good demographic to chase because their motivations and values are different. The media and social trends encourage this cosmetic patient to keep it together, so they stay competitive in business as well as socially. Now, they don't mind getting older, but they do not want to look old. They're also more likely to have the financial wherewithal to invest in themselves. And since they've been around for decades, they do have lots of face, body, and skin concerns. I call them cosmetic patients with endless needs. Because if you rejuvenate one body part, they'll most likely move on to another body part that now bothers them. And that'll continue as long as the aging process is happening. And that's why over the course of 18 years, this mature patient can easily spend six figures. Now here's my own cosmetic cost sheet from 1998 to 2015. I actually did this last weekend. I really wanted to see how much have I ever spent on this because I am that mature cosmetic patient. And look what I came up with. $48,600 in surgery, $44,800 in injectables, $9,600 in lasers, $8,500 in skincare, and $7,500 in products. So the total value of this preferred cosmetic patient is $119,000 of revenue. Isn't that crazy? I was really surprised. Now, the important point to get here is to build even just a $1 million cosmetic practice, you only need 84 of this type of mature patient versus needing 200 of the younger breast dog one-hit wonder patients. So how much are you losing by not catering to this type of patient? By the way, I am not an anomaly. There are millions of these preferred patients right in your own community. Patients who are willing to pay a premium for good results and good service at a fair price. So here are the latest stats. Women in their 50s and 60s are spending their money on themselves to feel better without apologies, embarrassment, or hesitation. They want to nurture themselves since self-care and self-development become priorities when a woman has entered her second spring. I love the way they say that. They feel that this is my time. Women over 50 know what they want, they're open to trying something new, and their buying power has a major effect on the economy. Now, in a recent editorial, where did I go? In a recent editorial, this is what the editor, Robert Love, editor-in-chief of the AARP magazine, wrote. I'm sorry. He has an article writing, "The smart money is on the 50-plus crowd." And this is what he said. "We, the people over the age of 50, are 100 million strong. We will soon control more than 70% of the disposable income in this country. We buy 2/3 of all the new cars, 50% of all the computers, and 1/3 of the movie tickets. We spend $7 billion a year shopping online. More than 80% of all the premium travel dollars flow from our credit cards. Add it all up, the U.S. adults who are 50 ka-ching as the third largest economy in the world, trailing only the gross national product of the U.S. and China." Wow. So the question is, how do you attract this type of preferred patient? One thing is for sure, you don't have to run Groupons because this patient will not use them. They value quality, personalized service, VIP treatment, and relationships, and they'll pay for it. They'll also be your loyal patients referring you to their friends who are also mature and feel the same way and also who have the same endless needs. So here are 3 strategies that work well for this preferred patient. You've got to position you as the best choice. Since the more mature patient does appreciate your skill and expertise, be sure they know about it. On your website and in your ads and all of your materials, include every one of your medical association logos, your PR logos, as well as any awards, articles, and accolades you've received throughout your career. Now, local social magazine print ads can still work with this group, so just be sure you add your photo, again, the credentials, and Use those magazines that are like the top docs in your area, social magazines. Those are very popular. They're a little cheesy, but just being seen in those has a really big psychological effect on the patients who already know you, have heard about you, and it kind of acts as a credibility builder. Now, be sure these mature cosmetic patients know all procedures, treatments, and services you offer by displaying your menu of services in your office, on your business cards, on your website, and in your materials. And if you ever hear, I didn't know you did that, you need more of this type of signage. Now, this is important because maybe this patient sees you as a surgeon, but they don't even think about you as an injector. So you're not getting all of their disposable income. Now, here's number 2. You've got to nurture relationships. This mature group wants to hear from you throughout the year so they feel like you care about them. And I will tell you, I have lived in the same area that whole time that I was spending $119,000. Do you realize that money was dispersed all over the place because nobody was spending enough time or effort trying to nurture me or keep me glued to their practice? So one practice could have gotten that $119,000. It didn't have to go to 15 different ones. So you want to give your patients a blend of email messages as well as direct mail, but you want to use messaging that's heartfelt, compelling, as well as interesting, so you stay top of mind when they are ready for rejuvenation. They also prefer more personalized communications, so send a very specific message to them. For example, let's say you offer a procedure to tighten jowls. Send them a personal letter telling them about the procedure, inviting them in for a one-on-one consult with you to discuss their particular situation. Or send a fun, heartfelt letter to those you haven't seen in over a year and invite them back to your practice with something like a $50 welcome back gift card. There's a chance they've been feeling ignored by you, so they've wandered off to your competitor, but now they will gladly return with a little prompting from you. And here's number 3. You want to devise a refer a friend program, but you want to do it strategically. Since mature patients are a skeptical group, they research online, but then they turn to their trusted friends for referrals. So here's what you do. Take a before and after photo of the mature patient's procedure or treatment, and that's of any kind of procedure or treatment. And at their post-op appointment, present these photos to them in a beautiful greeting card with your contact information printed on it and a handwritten note from you saying, "Thank you for your trust." I promise they will show it to at least 1 to 3 of their closest friends, their sister, their neighbor, so on. And they'll always remember you, especially when they're in a conversation with others who are also looking for aesthetic rejuvenation. And here's the most important pearl. Be sure to thank them because behavior that is rewarded is repeated. Set up a protocol to thank your patients for being your practice ambassadors. Now, it can be a personal call from you, an email from you, although I think that's fairly impersonal. You can always do a handwritten note card, which would be more heartfelt, but flowers would be even better. Now, I know a surgeon who sends flowers to his patients for referring or having surgery or, just for all sorts of different reasons. And in return, they send him the nicest testimonials that he puts on his website. And they're saying thank you for the flowers, but they're also going on and on and on about him and his staff and the result that they got. As a matter of fact, I went to his website recently and I counted up his testimonials. He had 88 testimonials on there, all saying how wonderful he was and how much they how much they like their flowers. Now that is the best advertising in the world because it's coming straight from his patients and it's priceless. By the way, how much did that cost him to do that? You could actually just Google flower delivery. Personally, we use Teleflora here. You can get a beautiful bouquet for like $35. They deliver it to the patient. Wouldn't you pay $35 all day to have a $119,000 patient? I know I would. That's a good business model, isn't it? So let me ask you a question. Would you like me to give you a strategic plan for your practice that could increase your revenues by 27 to 42%? If you want more patients and more procedures, as well as staff transformed into a team of converting rock stars, then this is for you. So if you give me 5 minutes, I'll explain. But first, I want you to know you pay nothing out of pocket ever. And here's why. The first thing I'm going to do for you is to personally help you create a strategic plan to bring in immediate revenues. Now, there's no charge for this, and it only takes about 30 to 45 minutes for us to do together. I'll do the heavy lifting for you by giving you the proven and effective strategies that are working now. So you'll know what to do, how to position yourself, and keep a steady stream of patients and revenues coming to you. Now, at the end of this initial planning session, one of these three things will happen. You love the plan and decide to implement it on your own. If this is the case, I'll wish you the best of luck and ask that you keep in touch with me to let me know how you're doing. Or you love the plan, but you want help implementing it so that you can focus on your patients. If that's the case, my team will go into stealth mode to get you set up and running on autopilot. Now, in the unlikely and unprecedented event that you feel like you wasted your time, I'm actually going to send you $200 as payment immediately, and that's pretty much equal to a typical consultation fee you would charge for an hour of your time. It really is that simple, and there's no catch. We will work together one-on-one to increase your numbers of patients and profits several times over. Now, here's how it'll work. First, we get on the phone one-on-one and go over your practice. I take a look at what you've got, what you're doing, and what you want to achieve going forward. Now, once we have those raw materials, I help you come up with a strategic plan of action to immediately increase your profits. Now, there are a number of ways I might do this for you. For example, I might show you how to position you as the best choice over all your competitors. Maybe how to increase your phone conversions by 30% within 48 hours. How to convert more of your consultations, or how to reactivate long-lost patients. And we can even whip up a quick promotion you can run within days and have revenue coming in fast. And like I said, there's no charge for this. So why would I offer it? Well, two reasons. One, first of all, I really enjoy it. Cosmetic patient attraction and conversion is what I do best, and it makes me very happy to see you get results and achieve financial success, and all that comes with it, as a result of the help I give you. And second of all, it's how I attract clients to our Endless Patients Partnership Program. Here's how that works. Assuming you're happy and you want me to execute these types of strategies for you all the time, you'll probably want to continue working together long term, so I can help you implement them and take the pressure off your staff to do extra work. If this is the case, I might invite you to become a done-for-you Endless Patients client. Now, my fee is $3 to $5 grand a month, but if you think about it, it really doesn't cost you anything. And why is that? Because I expect to at least double your investment of $3 to $5 grand in the first month, and if we keep working together over the next 12 months, I'm confident I can double or triple it every month at minimum. So you'll see the value by the time we hang up the phone. And if you don't want to become a client, don't worry about it. You won't get any pressure from me. My done-for-you Endless Patients clients stay with me for the long term, send in great feedback, and they love the results we track for them. My stuff works, and I know that if we work together, you'll be thrilled with the results we get in your own practice. Over the past 15 years, I've generated over $17 million in revenues for my private clients. Here are some of their monthly results. Dr. A in Michigan got 20 calls, 10 booked appointments, 4 surgical consults, 41 clicks to his website, and the projected ROI was 34 grand. Dr. K in Maryland got 16 calls, 10 booked appointments, 2 surgical consultations, 1 referred patient, 55 clicks to his website, and that projected ROI was $17,503. And then Dr. W in Maine got 36 calls, 26 booked appointments, 2 surgical consultations, 2 referred patients, 51 clicks to his website, for a projected ROI of $40,523. However, this is not for everybody. Here's who I can help. Number one, You have to be in practice for at least 10 years and have a smooth running practice already. I say this because there's no point in my helping someone get more patients if they can't deliver a good patient experience. So this is for cosmetic surgeons who have a nice setup already, and they simply want to run a lot faster and a lot farther. By the way, if you can't say yes to number one, you'll be better served by purchasing my ready-made patient attraction and staff training products on my website for a fraction of my coaching and done-for-you fees. Now, number two, you must have a patient list. It's got to include an Excel file of at least 1,500 patients who have been in to see you and either paid for your services or came in for a consultation but didn't book, because we have a great strategy for that. And then number three, you must have a good, solid reputation and be able to show good results. Now, everything we do together will not only be bringing you more patients and profits, but we'll be doing it in a way that creates massive social proof and goodwill in your market. And in order for us to do that, you need to be able to produce before-after photos and testimonials of several happy patients who want to brag about you and their results. And lastly, you must follow my lead. After all, if you don't actually give me the few things I ask of you, or if you get in my way from implementing for you in a timely way, neither one of us are going to make money. So that's it. Those are my requirements. So here's what I want you to do next. If you meet the criteria above and would like to talk to me personally about getting you incredible results, then I'll happily set aside some time for you. Now here's how the process works. First, I'm going to need you to fill in a pre-call questionnaire. Don't worry though, it's simple and it's unobtrusive. I just need to know where you're at, what you want to accomplish, and so forth. Next, all I ask is you show up on time for our phone consultation, since we both run on tight schedules. Now, here's what will happen after that. During our call, we really begin to figure out exactly what you want and how to make it happen. I'll review your goals, current marketing efforts, and so forth, and I'll deliver a plan to bring you more patients and profits immediately. If you see the value in becoming a high-level client, terrific. Great, and we can talk about it. If you don't want to become a client, that's okay too. No bad feelings. And if you tell me I've wasted your time, I'll pay you $200. So you literally can't lose. By the way, I've never had anyone feel like his or her time was wasted, ever. That's why I can make this offer. I really do deliver. But there is a warning. I can only work with one cosmetic surgeon per geographic area to give you the unfair advantage over your competitors. So this is based on first come, first served. So if you feel like this could be right for you, call or email me at my personal email, and I'll get the pre-call questionnaire to you immediately. And there's my phone number, and there's my personal email. And now I'm going to take some questions. And I got some ahead of time before the call, and then I'm going to get some right now. So one of the questions was, any data or recommendations regarding men over 50? And here's my question, or here's my answer, I'm sorry. You don't have enough time, money, and interest to go after the whole world. You just don't. In today's world, you have got to focus. Focus and clarity are what win the game for you in this industry. So I always say, well, let's go with the successes. Who is your lowest hanging fruit? Who's your best shot at giving you money? And that would obviously be the more mature patient, and typically it's a female. Unless you're running a different type of practice where it's male oriented, I would actually just stick to the women. The women will then bring in the men that you want. Otherwise, for men over 50, they don't act like women. They don't want all this nurturing. They just want to get in, get out. So in that case, I would say you just have to go to the internet and figure out where the men are on the internet and try to grab them there. But that would be my answer there. Somebody else is saying, with breast augmentation being the highest profit margin surgery I do, why not seek them out, especially the mommy makeover patient? Well, because the mommy makeover patient is not the breast aug patient. They're two very different patients. And if you think about it, the mommy makeover patient, they're older. They've had kids now. They got married, or I don't know, maybe they got married, but they now have children. They're more responsible. They're probably more financially stable. And the beauty of them is they actually have other mommy friends. And that's how you can build a practice. Because I love the Mommy Makeover group because you can actually trail with them and be friends with them, and they will grow your practice with their other Mommy Makeover friends. Other than the breast dog, I'm telling you, the breast dog patient, not everybody wants a breast dog. So it's not like they all hang around together, but the mommies do. And also you have to think about a patient from their perspective. The breast dog patient has a very different psychology than the Mommy Makeover. The breast dog patient, they want something that they've never had, which are breasts. Versus the Mommy Makeover patient, they want what they used to have, which was a hot body, right? So you would want to talk to them that way. You would want to talk to them like, get your body back or feel sexy again. You see the distinction there? So it's a very different patient. I highly, highly recommend going after the Mommy Makeover group. I'm just saying the breast dog patient is a tougher patient. That's why I wouldn't build a whole practice around it. I'm saying in today's world, you've got to get smarter and more strategic about who are you going to focus on and who are you going to chase, because that will determine where you're putting your time, money, and effort. And just make sure it's a good use of your resources, or it's time to look at other groups that could be worth and be more valuable to you. Okay, so that is that. I hope I was helpful there, and I hope to talk to you again soon. Take care.